So happy itFriday. I can't do a traditional black and tan this week, or probably the next couple of weeks. So what I have instead is my wife got me some spiced apple cider. Not spiced that way, but spice flavored. So this will have to be, just pretend there's a darker cider on top or something, and I have a half and half. So cheers. So I have a lot of time on my hands for the next 4 weeks, so I'm going to do as many of these videos as I can. I'm going to catch up with a lot of y'all's videos, so be expecting a lot of comments. Many of you, first of all, I appreciate all the nice well wishes and comments from you guys. I went through my procedure. Hold on a second. So anyway, I did the surgery on Wednesday, and it went very, very well. You can kind of see I got a little cover. I need a cover story for this. So if you can think of a good story, I used to tell my daughter back in the day. She asked why I had an earring hole, and I told her that I used to be a pirate. Because I didn't want her to know that I used to wear an earring. So maybe I can come up with some kind of cool pirate story for this. But amazing thing is they did this surgery, and as soon as I woke up, all the problems that I went in for on my left arm, I had like tingling and pain shooting down my arm, completely gone. It was freaking amazing. So totally worth it. Glad I did it. Probably have to do some recovery now and do some physical therapy and all that. But I mean, if this continues, man, I'm so glad I went and had it done. I didn't realize how bad it was hurting until I had it done. Anyway. A lot of good guys up there at Walter Reed. Very happy with the crew up there. They were certainly professional. Don't believe a lot of the horror stories you hear in the media. Those guys are rock solid. So anyway, so for this itFriday, I'll talk a little bit about. So I wasn't able to do a homebrew Wednesday. I was having a homebrew Wednesday. I was just laid up under drugs and had it in my head. But before, I know I'd mentioned a couple of you guys like S.J. Poor and some others that I was a little worried about my competition beers. I'm doing the Old School Double IPA, the Dreyer's Abomination, and the Munich Helles Centennial Bavarian for the National Homebrew Competition. And then I was doing the Munich Helles and Old School Double IPA for the DC Cherry Blossom Homebrew Competition. Both those had to be turned in, or received at the shipping center. Like one was the 9th, I think, and the other one was the 13th of March. Anyway, sorry, my mother-in-law calling to check on me. So both of them had to be, they were due around the second week of March. So I was a little concerned that with the surgery and everything coming up that I wasn't going to be able to get those bottled and shipped off in time. However, I was able to get it done. It was really a lot of madness going on from this past weekend up through Tuesday, getting all of those things bottled and packaged up. The only thing I didn't get to, and I even got a box of beer mail shipped off to Kevin Clements, so he'll be getting a surprise from me. Actually, he knows it's coming, probably in a few days. But yeah, I got it all mailed off, so I'm super happy about that. I don't have to worry about it. The only thing I didn't get to was bottling the root beer for my son's school project, and I think that's got to be done before next week. So hopefully I'll be filling up to it this week. Maybe if I can convince my wife to if she can pick up the keg and position it so that I can fill up the bottles for his root beer project. That will be, and it actually carbed. I heard some horror stories when you try to force carb homemade root beer, you have some problems, and it wasn't too bad, so I think it's going to work out. So, got all that done. I'm very happy. The one bad thing about all this is that I still have a significant amount of Old School Double IPA, a really good one. It's 9.1%. The stuff I sent off for the competition ended up being 9.1%, and it tastes freaking phenomenal. But I've got about half a keg sitting there left over after bottling, and So I guess I'm working to get off this Percocet so I can start drinking some homebrew again, because I've got plenty of it sitting there. Yeah, the only thing is it's hard for me to swallow right now. So yeah, my wife has been a rock star. You know, she was amazing in the hospital. I kept apologizing because I don't like being a pain in the ass on, you know, burden on people. And you know, she's like, hey, that's my job. You know, that's what I'm here for. And she was awesome. I'm very lucky to have her. She doesn't like me putting stuff like that on Facebook, but I give her some kudos anyway because I don't tell her that enough. I got a super wife and a super life. Great kids, you know. Very happy with life these days. I'm also excited that it's March time frame now. Next thing you know, it'll be you know, spring will be around the corner. I'm a little bit concerned because I'm in no condition to climb up the ladder and rerun the twine for my hop binds that should be poking through in another few weeks. If hopefully they come back. I mean, last year was the first year I grew my Centennial and Willamette hops. You know, the Centennial actually did better than the Willamette. The Willamette took off and grew faster at first, but then the Centennial overtook them and produced more cones. Not a whole lot of hop cones, but a few. But I'm hoping this year, you know, and throw some comments in there if there's any suggestions you have of some things I can do to make those things grow a little better, you know, in terms of fertilizer and all that. I would really appreciate it. I know, SJ, you grow a buttload of hops, and I think, Kevin, you grow a bunch too, and I know Under the Table, so if you guys have any tips or suggestions, this will be my second year, and just kind of, you know, what to expect. Got to get on the ball soon, and man, I got a lot of stuff going on. I'll be off from work for the next 30 days. I won't go back to work until about the 3rd or 4th of April, whenever is after the weekend. Then going back will be pretty much getting ready for my retirement. I got a retirement ceremony, you know, coming up in June. 27 years in the military. I'll have my retirement ceremony. Hard to believe it's already here. It's been a fast 27 years. So I'll be focusing on transition and job hunting and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of stuff changed, and so I'm glad I got this taken care of. And if any of you guys, I don't know if you're familiar with, you know, it's weird talking medical stuff, but I had spinal stenosis. So that's a problem where your vertebrae is compacting in on your on the spinal column and the nerve roots that go out. In this particular case, the one that went out in between a couple of specific vertebrae affects you know, your finger. So I was having numbness and aching, and it was about almost completely blocked, you know, once they opened it up and looked at it. So it was a good thing they did it. But they removed the front part of the vertebrae. They fused them together with a titanium little clamp and some screws, and then put a fake spacer in between the vertebrae. So I'm actually 2 millimeters taller than I was before, and that's causing the back of my neck muscles to kind of give me some pains. But then they put that back in, so now all those nerves are not being pinched anymore. And man, it's you know, a crazy good feeling to not have that pain anymore. So any of you out there that are, you know, been told you have stenosis and, you know, you're worried about, I don't want to, you know, talk up a surgery to anybody, but I freaking hate hospitals. I hate, you know, I hardly ever go to the doctor. So to get me in there, it was hurting pretty bad, but the outcome was excellent. So I don't even remember the surgery. I think I'd had a general anesthesia once when I was 6, but it was, you know, really low maintenance. It was very, very, very easy. So anyway, listen, I'll be trying to do all these videos. Hopefully I'll be back on the homebrew soon. Won't be able to exercise, so I'll be out walking and bottling and whatever I can to kind of stay in shape so I don't become a fat slob over the next month or so. But again, thanks to everybody for all the shout outs and the nice messages. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And I'll be looking forward to all your videos this week. Cheers.